Hey guys, it's the Archangel here. Now, some of you have been knowing on Twitter that I'm doing a short movie called Hunters vs Slashers. There's been requests to add more characters, and it's all been finalised, the characters. So here's the full cast that we have. Okay, so most of these are NECA figures. We've got the Resident Evil Licker, Mr. Black, or Berserker, whatever you want to call him, Falconer, Wolf, Dark Horse. I don't know why Heat Blaster's there. He's just going to be a cameo appearance. Bad Blood, Wasp, and then these are the three. This is Team Slasher, which is Leatherface, Freddy Krueger, Jason Voorhees. We've got the Cyber Demon from Doom 2. This will be interesting stop motion with, plus it's so big. We've got Davy Jones and Anti-Venom. They'll be doing cameos. A zombie, well, Crimson Head Zombie. This will be like the first kill probably from one of the Predators when it arrives. The Deacon's going to be joining Team Slasher just because it's a horror creature, and you know there's going to be the things are being swapped around now, and it comes with a decapitated head and the hammer-peed. Got a werewolf, a Doctor Who werewolf from Tooth and Claw. It's just starring in as another, cameo thing really. Got a Terminator, got the Battle Armor Lost Predator or Borg, and a Doctor Who Krillitine. That's all the cast members. Not got any much ideas on the script yet. Anyone give me ideas on Twitter? I mean, I've got ideas for like where it starts off as a bit of monologue because there's going to be voice acting in it, which is only going to be me so far. I'm going to use voice distortion techniques and all that. I actually don't have the technology to do it. I go to a special place called Selection BOCS or Box, and that's where I'm doing all the stuff to do it with. And yeah, they've got all the mics and all that to do voice distortion. We've got cameras. We've already got the backdrop there. It's going to be set in a jungle. They're getting Jenga as well, so we can use it as breakable walls. Because one of the Predators is going to throw Freddy, or one characters are going to start throwing each other into walls, basically. So, it's going to be like that. Right, character roles. These three are the slashers, as you know. They're going to be around killing things. And our Team Hunters originally was, if I just move Heat Blast out of the way, originally Team Slashers was these three, but I think I'm going to switch it around so that, because Bad Blood is technically a bad guy, I'm going to have these guys as the Slashers, Dark Horse, Lost, and along with Wolf, and then Team Slashers will have the Deacon. And then Team Bad Blood, which is going to be a new one. Their role will be unknown yet. Their role is going to be like an anti-villain, anti-hero really. They're going to be antagonists to try and stop the Predators. They are going to consist of these three, because this guy's bad in the comics and these two are bad in the movie. And these guys are going to be like just more enemies to get in the way. These two will be like the good guys. David Jones was a bad guy in Pirates of the Caribbean, but he's going to be a good guy in this. We have the Terminator there as well. The Cyber Demon's role is going to be unknown. I've got a special idea for the Cyber Demon, and I'm not planning on revealing it, but I'll put it this way. It's going to be a whopper. And let's just say he's going to be very tough. But his allegiance, is it the good guys? Is it the slashers? Or is it the Bad Bloods? Or the Renegades? Or is he going to side with the monsters? His role is going to be unknown. So that's all I've got for now. Again, I've not got very much so far. The script's not even been written yet. I'm kind of one of those, the camera's going to fall. Yes, I'm filming with a phone. I don't have luxury technology. Not luxurious like other YouTubers. I have to work with the bare basics. But basis of the script is 4 Predators. It's changed now. So, there were originally just 2 teams of 3, but more votes. I did a voting thing, and 1 vote has been to keep everything the same as is. Everyone else wants more characters so far. I mean, one of my friends, Night3100, you probably know him from my Minecraft videos. Shout out to him. He's known him for 6 years, actually. Pretty good guy. I don't know, he's probably voting right now as we speak. I mean, by the time I'm recording this video, he's already voted, so I don't know what he's voting for yet. Heat Blast is going to be on the cameos team. They're going to be kind of like the good guys that are going to... They're like, like AVP, where you got the aliens, the Predators, and you got the humans in the mix. They're going to be kind of like the middle team, sort of. but they're going to be like trying to get on. They're going to basically get in a way and get their heads ripped off in a way. And they do have detachable heads actually. The Terminator's head's pinned in so it can rotate because I did a lot of modding to the Terminator. I will review it eventually actually. Davy Jones has a simple pin for his head so it swivels, you can pull that off. Anti-Venom has a ball joint, and the Heat Blast is like a little model kit, an articulated model kit, so I can just pull his head apart, take it off the neck and then reassemble it so it's just a detached head. The Crimson Head Zombie also has a detachable head. The Licker does not, because the Licker and the Crimson Head were older figures. They don't have like loads of articulation, and the Licker does not have head articulation, which kind of sucks really. But it's gonna, most of them all have ball jointed heads. The Krillitine does not have a ball jointed head. That's on a standard swivel, so his head can't get ripped off. There are gonna be heads ripped off in this. The heads that are able to be ripped off, just use this to stand up, the heads that can be ripped off the characters are Mr. Black, Falconer, Bad Blood, Wolf, Borg, or Battle Armor Spreader. I'm just calling him Borg because that is his actual name, but they couldn't call him that because of copyright reasons. At least the toy company couldn't. Dark Horse, Wasp, Freddy Krueger, obviously, because he has swappable heads. Leatherface also has swappable heads. Jason Voorhees. And I think that's it, really. I don't know. The Cyber Demon does not have a removable head because the mannequins all held together by springs, and I really don't want to rip them apart, to be honest. As for the other figures, so mainly the NECA figures, if I wanted to remove a part, like say have one get his arm cut off here, I could basically heat it up with some boiling water and then pull it out. Because, it's pretty easy to do. I just heat up the joint and then pop it out. Because that's what most people do anyway. I mean, I've actually taken my Jason apart in one of the previous videos to... God's sake, this camera. I basically took Jason apart to tighten his joints. And it's actually worked really well. And one guy also did it, and it worked well for him. So, nods to that worked. That means that basically, if I wanted to have Jason with his arm removed, I could just, heat him up with boiling water, pull his arm out. It won't break it because the plastic will be soft enough to do that. And Freddy's arms, if I just grab Freddy. Basically, Freddy, for those of you who don't know, is a re-release of the original, just with new legs. And the original one had swappable arms, where you could give them the long, extended ones. So, as you can see, it's not a full mushroom thing, because a mushroom thing would be, you wouldn't be able to detach it like you could with Freddy. But most of Freddy's pieces are pretty much detachable. I mean, his waist broke and I pinned it in, so that could be like he's been cut in half or something. His legs were able to do it as well, but I pinned them in because they were just constantly falling off and it was annoying. But that's Freddy. Davy Jones, he's a much older figure. He is a much older figure, basically. All he has really is a detachable head, and his joints are a bit tight, but I've managed to loosen them up. Although you can hear that, that's kind of ridiculous, really. This is bendy wire. He's a good figure. He doesn't pose very much. His legs he only has a cut joint in his foot, so if you see him walking, yeah, he's just basically, there's only so much I can do. All he has is a cut joint in the waist and a cut joint in the foot for leg articulation. He's an older figure. He's made in 2006. This guy's 10 years old. Found it at a car boot sale. British people know what that is. Americans, it's like a flea market, basically. And I got him for about £2. Not bad. Just came like this. His claw broke off, but I managed to fix that. And it was on like a pin socket thing, but it still hinges. So if I let it like that, it's tightened up now, but you get the point. Heat Blast, most of his joints are hinges, but they're all plastic hinges. They're not like pinned in, so I can pretty much unclip him and have him completely disassembled across the battlefield. There's not going to be any Transformers or anything. Nothing like that. What I would like to do, though, and if I can get the NECA Ultimate Scarface Predator, this is just an idea at the moment. There's going to be Scar versus Leatherface and Scarface. It's going to be those two duking out. So I like to do crossovers and things. I think they're really cool. Those are just some ideas. But the main thing with Hunters versus Slashers is it's now like getting bigger. which means it's probably going to take a lot. It's going to be a lot harder to make. So just know that, all right? It might not be fully done. It might take ages to produce. Music scores and all that, we're going to use classic scores like the Predator theme. We've already got Predator sound effects like the Plasmacaster. And yeah, I've got a bit of a cold at the moment. So basically, we have the Plasmacaster, the classic one. And considering Dark Horse and Borg, I'll just show you what Dark Horse looks like. I call him Dark Horse. This is Dark Horse. He's based off of the comic art. I call him Dark Horse because that's pretty much what he's based on. It's based on a comic, you know. And he has a Plasmacaster up there. As you can see, he's pretty much a jungle hunter, but all different colours and great blades. He's going to be one of the main guys. His hand could come off. It is on a ball joint, so. And even then, if he did, he'd still have his blades. So, and plus, I could put some green plasticine. Because believe it or not, the hunter from my Jason short video makes a return. I managed to repair him up, just stick them all back together, and he will make a return. He's probably going to be one of the civilians. I've got ideas for him to either A, get eaten by a werewolf, B, attacked by a zombie, or C, attacking a little mutant monster which is based off The Thing, which was cut from the final version of the Jason short, because the Jason short was supposed to have Jason kill the guy, and then he suddenly mutates into this monster like The Thing. It was going to be Jason versus The Thing. Time constrictions got in the way, and, you know, basically I couldn't do that, which is a shame, but the creature's still around, so I could potentially use that as, you know, maybe have it there and have the Cyber Demon stomp on it. Like I said, the Cyber Demon is going to be tough, but it's unknown what his allegiance is yet. Jason, of course, is going to be using his weapons. He's got his machete, his hunting knife, his spear. It's going to start off with Jason. What I do know so far is it's going to start off with a bit of a Freddy versus Jason style thing, where Freddy's in the dream world. Only this time he will manually have the ability to exit the dream world himself. He won't be able to be pulled out. He can manual exit himself. He will and basically Freddy is going to be coming. Sorry, not Freddy. Jason is going to be coming out the ground, like in Freddy vs. Jason. He was buried, and then he's going to crawl out, pick up his stuff. Because I've got his tombstone, because I have the Ultimate figure, and it comes with a tombstone, comes with everything I need, really. The tombstone's a perfect addition. And the Freddy phone's going to be in, like, one of the characters is going to pick up a phone, and then, oh crap, Freddy's messing around with it and making it a Freddy phone. And Freddy's going to be doing a lot of Freddy antics. I don't know, not loads. He's going to be quite dark, like in the first one. Believe it or not, the figure's actually from the first Nightmare on Elm Street, so it's only fair. But he is going to be like he is in Freddy vs. Jason, the odd goof, but mainly quite dark and sadistic. Unlike the third one, unlike the third Nightmare on Elm Street and onwards, where he was more comical, my Freddy is going to the Freddy vs. Jason roots. How many times have I said that now? In case I've not explained it clearly. In Freddy vs. Jason, he was a hybrid of Part 3 and Part 1. In Part 1, he was very dark, very sadistic. And in Part 3, he was the same, but he was constantly coming out with wide-cracking jokes, puns, all sorts. And in Freddy vs. Jason, he was more dark than he was comical. He was a comical bit, because one bit when... what is it now? Kia, that's it, Kia, played by Kelly Rowland. She was in a dream sequence. She didn't notice it first, but she was reading this, like, surgery magazine and plastic surgery, and then you see all these weird images, and then she turns to one bit where this thing's holding something. It comes up with two Freddy gloves grabbing a nose, and then you see Freddy in the magazine go, "Got your nose," and flies a nose off. Basically, that's like the comical thing, the typical Freddy comical thing that we all know and love. But he's also dark at the same time. He's very focused on his goal to get to his children, even though most of them are all teenagers and 18-year-olds by now. But Freddy basically is going to try and make a return, and, you know, he's going to probably get into a fight. I mean, the Predators are going to come and look for sports. That's the Predators arc. The Predators story arc is for sports. The Deacon crash lands, and it starts fighting a Predator, and the slashers use the Deacon to their advantage. But what I've got is Freddy and Jason are going to encounter each other. They're going to start fighting, and then you're going to hear a predator. And then they're going to stop, look towards the direction where they heard that sound, and they're going to see, like, I can't do cloaked figures, like Predator cloaking. I don't have CGI. This is all practical effect. I can green screen and stuff, but I can't do CGI, so I don't know how I'm going to do that. Probably just going to have, like, a plastic, like a clear plastic bag wrapped up in the shape of a predator or something. I don't know. I really don't know. But, you know, they're going to stop fighting and Leatherface is going to appear there and he's not going to say anything. Freddy's the only slasher that actually speaks. In fact, he's the one character that's probably going to speak the most. The Predators will speak. Because if you didn't know, in Predator 2, the actual Predators spoke English. But their voice is going to be very distorted, very weird, like alien-like. Because, like I said, the microphone I'm using at this special place can distort things. So we're going to use that. The werewolf, we're going to get some generic howling effect. The Krillatine's going to be flying around. We're going to have that on string. But there will be some live footage. And by that I mean when a predator picks up Freddy, or for example, Jason picks up Freddy, it's unknown what's going to happen. There's going to be characters throwing each other around the place. That will all be stop motion. But then when it actually comes to throwing them, that will be stop motion. And then the actual live footage, the actual filmed footage will be the character like landing into something. Like this. Like that. Just like that, basically. It'll be like that, but, you know. You get what I mean. Again, you know, if I had more NECA figures, it would be much more flushed out. And also, if I have the time and the technology, I would be producing better stuff. Again, this is my first proper big project when it comes to stop motion and animation in movies. And I've got all the characters that I need. Because people wanted more. And, you know, I thought, why not let people vote? Why not get some of my friends involved? And, you know, the votes so far go for more characters. So that's the full cast. I don't know if it's too many. I do take things a bit overboard. But, you know, most films do have quite a few characters. I mean, look at Freddy vs. Jason. That had quite a lot of characters. It was mainly Freddy and Jason, but there was a lot of human characters. Loads. Bloody loads. School kids and everything. Although most of them weren't really known, but you get the point. It was well fleshed out with characters and people and all that for Freddy and Jason to slice apart. Here is similar, but each one has their own faction. Like I've said, you've got the Bad Bloods or the Renegades, whatever you want to call them. The Disgraces. The Disgraced Hunters. You've got the Hunters, Team Hunters. They are the good guys, the honourable hunters looking for sport. You've got the slashers, which go around killing everything because they're sick bastards. You've got the monsters, which are they're just there. Wrong place, wrong time. They're just there, wandering about, and then some of them get killed and all that. But a Krillitine, actually, Doctor Krillitine actually has detachable wings because of the way it was packaged. So, you know, we can have a Predator rip its wings off. Fake blood, I don't know if I have any of that this time, unlike in the Jason stop motion. I pretty much used all that there was, and it was a little bottle of the stuff, and I used practically most of it. And then you've got the cameo guys, which are your protagonists, sort of. In fact, no, really, Team Hunters are actually the protagonists. The human guys, they're just getting in the way. Well, no, they're not even human. A Terminator, Heat Blast, Davy Jones, and Anti-Venom. They are your cannon fodder. And the Cyber Demon, I'm keeping that unknown. I think you might like what I'm going to do. But it is going to come from hell. But it might be good, it might be bad. As in, it's going to be either heroic or evil. Although, if you've played Doom, you'll know that the Cyber Demon is evil, so that should give you some hint. Look at its allegiance in Doom, the Doom games. That should give you some clue as to what its allegiance is going to be in this movie. And there is going to be, I mean, if the Cyber Demon's evil, it's going to be a very big threat. If not, it could be the greatest, greatest ally imaginable. Like I said, this is more of a horror than a sci-fi thing. I might do some sci-fi eventually. I mean, you know, I don't know really. I don't know. But yeah, those are just my ideas for Hunters versus Slashers. Like I said, it started out with 6. Now it's expanded a bit more fleshed out. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Hopefully the next video is Hunters vs Slashers. It's unknown. I'm probably going to do some reviews this afternoon, so they'll be coming before Hunters vs Slashers, but Hunters vs Slashers should be coming soon. I can't guarantee it. It's either this week or it's next week. That's all I can say, really, because it's going to take a lot to produce. And a lot. Like I said, this is my first actual big project. And if it don't get done, I can wait till the next time I'm off college and do it then. And continue onward then. Because, you know. I also want some suggestions for music. I've got a few ideas to use some themes. Like Predator and all that, those are my ideas. But I want to know what you guys think. If you think, like, say, for example, I should use some of these songs that were in Freddy vs. Jason, like, for example, Beginning of the End, or Blow Me Away from Halo 2. Those are just examples. You don't have to go with those. I don't think Blow Me Away would kind of fit. Personally, it's a good song, but I just don't think it's going to fit in a horror flick. That's more of a, bring it on, get ready to kill loads of enemies mindlessly in Halo kind of song. God, this video is nearly 20 minutes, Jesus. But yeah, I want song ideas. Don't audition for voice acting, because I don't have the technology to pass over your voices in data to a computer. I do not have that type of technology. But, you know, what I do have is Paint on my computer, and it's a very basic editing program. It's like as basic as freaking drawing. As drawing a circle on a screen. That's as basic as it is. I can, you know, get some images and use it as a very crude Photoshop. I could potentially get some images of my characters and use them as a cover, basically. Because I got to make a cover somehow. It's not going to be in parts. It's not going to be like that. It's going to be... I mean, I did a 50-minute long video last night on my Doom mod showcase, which took way longer than expected. Way longer. And hopefully, you know, Hunters vs Slashers is roughly that long. I mean, might be. It might not be. But there is definitely going to be voice acting, though. I'm not the editor here. I've got someone else who's going to edit it all. And, you know... Thank God, because if I was editing, I'm just going to say this right now, I am absolute shit. I don't know how to use program. I'm more or less the director, the voice actor, the producer, everything. I'm pretty much the cameraman as well. This is a two-man army, more of a one-man army thing. And it's not like, you know, Transformers Interstellar, where there's a few people doing it. It's mainly one guy doing it, with some voice actors. With this, it's a bit harder. One voice actor, one guy, well, one director who's having to do the role of producer, camera editor, and all sorts. Not camera editor, cameraman. And, you know, and then I've got other people, and I've got one other guy who's doing the effects. So this is a two-man army. It's going to be really difficult. I'm just saying, but I'm up for the challenge. So... that's just a bit of a spoiler, really. Hope you guys have enjoyed, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.